Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving into something pretty awesome today, something I think a lot of you are really interested in, and that's atomic habits.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating look at how tiny changes can lead to some big results, right?
Exactly. We'll be pulling from James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones.
Yeah, a great book.
So we're ready to go deep on this, explore those core principles, see how they can really help, well, all of us actually transform our lives.
Yeah, and the cool thing is it's all about tiny actions, consistent actions.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. It's not about some huge, overwhelming change. It's just these little tweaks, these little 1% improvements every single day that can add up over time.
Yeah, and he actually calls that the power of tiny gains. It's like his central idea.
Right, and it seems almost too good to be true, right? Like, how can these little things really make such a big impact?
Well, it's all about the consistency, right? Like, even if you're only improving by 1% each day, over a year, that's like 37 times better. Think about that.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? It's like if you're on a plane and you change course by just 1 degree,
it could land you in a totally different country, right?
Yeah, totally. So it's really about shifting your trajectory, not just making a one-time change.
Exactly. And to really get how that works, we got to understand how habits are actually formed. Clear breaks it down into 4 steps.
Cue, craving, response, and reward.
That's it. It's a really cool model.
All right, so let's say someone's listening to this right now and they want to build a new habit, right? How can they use this 4-step model to help them? Like, let's say they want to start meditating every day.
Okay, so first they need to figure out the cue, right? What's going to trigger that urge to meditate? Maybe it's like right after they make their morning coffee.
Okay, that makes sense.
The craving is the desire for the reward. In this case, it's that feeling of calm and focus they're hoping to get from meditation. The response is the act of meditating itself. And then the reward, that's that positive feeling they get afterwards, the sense of peace and clarity.
Oh, so it's like you're creating this chain reaction.
Exactly. You're setting yourself up for success.
Right. That's so interesting. But what if we're talking about breaking bad habits? Does this model work for that too?
Absolutely. You can use the same model to break bad habits. The key is to disrupt that cycle. So let's say you're trying to break the habit of constantly checking social media.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough one.
Right. So maybe the cue is feeling bored or maybe even stressed, and the craving is for that distraction, right? And the response is grabbing your phone. So to break that, you got to replace that response with something else.
Oh, so like going for a walk or reading a book.
Exactly. Anything that can fulfill that craving in a healthier way.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, Clear also talks about this idea of identity-based habits.
Yeah, that's a really powerful concept.
Yeah, can you explain that a bit more? It sounds pretty deep.
Well, it's this idea that lasting change, real change, starts with changing how you see yourself. So instead of focusing only on what you do, you're focusing on who you want to be. Like if you see yourself as a healthy person, you're more likely to make healthy choices.
Oh, I get it. So it's not just about eating a salad. It's about believing you are the type of person who eats salads.
Right, exactly. And then your actions become a reflection of your identity, and that reinforces the belief.
Okay, so it's like a positive feedback loop.
Totally.
Now, how do we actually make these changes stick? Like, how do we turn these ideas into real action? Clay mentions some pretty cool tools, right? Like habit stacking and environment design.
Yeah, those are really practical strategies.
Let's start with habit stacking. How does that work?
Habit stacking is all about using your existing routines to trigger new habits. So like we talked about before, if you already make coffee every morning, you could stack a new habit on top of that. Like maybe you stretch for 5 minutes right after you pour your coffee. The existing habit, the coffee, becomes the cue for the new habit. The stretching, that's smart.
Yeah, it makes it way easier to stick to the new habit because it's already built into your routine.
Right. Okay, so what about environment design? How can we use our surroundings to our advantage?
Well, think about all those cues that trigger your habits. If you want to read more, keep a book on your bedside table. If you're trying to eat less junk food, don't keep it in the house. It's all about making the desired behavior easier and the undesired behavior harder.
Oh, so it's like you're setting yourself up for success by controlling your environment.
Exactly. You're making it easier to make those good choices and harder to make those bad choices.
That's so powerful. So we've covered a lot today. We talked about the power of tiny gains, the science behind habit formation, the importance of aligning our actions with our desired identity, and those practical tools, habit stacking and environment design. It all comes down to making those 1% improvements consistently.
And remember, Even the smallest changes, compounded over time, can lead to some pretty amazing results.
I love that. So here's a thought for everyone listening. What's one habit you want to focus on this week? Yeah, and think about how you can apply these principles, the cue, craving, response, reward, to either build a good habit or break a bad one. You got this.
You've got the tools and the knowledge. Now go out there and make those atomic changes happen. We'll be back next time for another deep dive.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.